everybody, welcome to Antrim. My name's Donal Kelly and I operate Belfast Mike Tours. I'm also a member of Tour Guides NI. I was born and bred here in Antrim and I used to, as a child, walk around these fantastic gardens. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the Antrim and Newtonabbey Council District and some of the fantastic attractions that we have here. So we're in the courtyard now of Clotworthy House. Dates to about the mid-19th century, and this was the stabling house for Antrim Castle. But you can come here today, get a tea, coffee and sit outside, sit inside and enjoy the surroundings. So I'm here on the Deer Park Bridge, and what is now the Castle Gardens was originally the gardens for the Clotworthy Masserine family, who go way back to the latter part of the 16th century. But today, of course, Antrim and Newtonabbey Council have spent a lot of money developing the Castle Gardens and the parkland around here, and have done a fantastic job, and people really from all over now are enjoying the gardens. So we're now in the Parterre Gardens. When I was growing up here in the 70s and 80s, this was just all grass. It was used as hockey pitches. But Antrim and Newtonabbey Council have now recreated the original geometric designs that go back to the latter part of the 17th century. And they've done a fantastic job. In the summertime, they have concerts just over here on the stage as well. So we're here now at the Long Pond, and it dates back to the early part of the 18th century. And again, it's a beautiful feature of the Antrim Castle Gardens. But just on a personal note, back in the late 1960s when I was very small, I was maybe 2 or 3, and I walked out from this hedge here. A family was having a picnic, but I fell into the lily pond, as we called it. I was saved by an American gentleman who was walking around the park. He saved my life. So it always reminds me of that, although I can't really remember it. So behind me is the last remaining part of what was the Masserine Castle. This is the Italian tower. The castle itself would have been just over here. You can see where the front door would have been, the archway here. Unfortunately, the castle was burnt to the ground in 1922 and then demolished by the council back then in about 1970. But also what we have here is the old Norman motte, and that was incorporated into the gardens by the Masserine family, and it's still a fantastic feature of the Castle Gardens today. So we're here in the steeple area of Antrim, so called because of this beautiful round tower behind me. The round tower itself dates to possibly the 10th century. It's one of the finest and most complete round towers anywhere in Ireland. It's associated with the Bangor Abbey, and there would have been an abbey in this area as well. But there is a local legend about a witch who jumped off the tower and she landed on the stone just over to my right here, and you can still see the indentations of her elbow and knee as she landed on the stone. It's called the Witch's Stone. So we're here in the middle of Antrim town. This was my hometown. I remember growing up here in the 70s and 80s. I left Antrim in about 1990 or thereabouts. But again, a lovely view down into the town centre just behind me here. So we're here at the home, or what was the home, of Alexander Irvine, one of Antrim's most famous sons. His famous book, it was a bestseller, released in 1913, was My Lady of Chimney Corner. So this was the house where Alexander Irvine grew up, and it was inside the house here that his mother Anna sat beside the fireplace, hence the name then, My Lady of Chimney Corner. He was very much influenced by his mother, and the whole premise of the book really is love is enough. So we're now down at the Loch Shore car park, and behind me of course is the beautiful Loch Ness. It's the largest freshwater lake in the British Isles. I know this area very well. I would have grown up very close to here. But as we look around, you can see just out in the distance here, this is a torpedo launch, so it's a famous feature of Lough Neagh in this area. It's where they tested torpedoes during the Second World War. But also out in the distance here, you're also seeing Shane's Castle. It's a beautiful castle, home of the O'Neill family, of course. So behind me is the new Gateway Centre opened by Antrim and Newtonabbey Council. So what they have inside is an interpretive centre where you can learn more about the area, about the loch, and about the torpedo launch. There's also a restaurant upstairs, there's toilet facilities as well within the Gateway Centre. So it's going to be a fantastic addition to the tourism offering around the loch. So I'm now inside this fantastic Gateway Centre that's just been opened by Antrim and Newtonabbey Council, and gives you lots of information about the loch, about the legends associated with the loch, about the torpedo launch just out here as well. And it's a real addition to the tourism offering here in Antrim. So we're now at the historic Century Hill House, Newtonabbey, and within the house are fantastic artefacts. It was a former home of the McKinney family, and it's really just a snapshot of Ulster country living back in the 19th century. So we're now just on the borders really of Antrim and Newtonabbey Borough. We're very close to the city of Belfast. You can see Belfast just behind me, and of course the beautiful Belfast Loch also just behind me here. And you're getting fantastic views here at Hazelbank Park, right over to Carrickfergus and beyond as well. So I'm now still in Newtonabbey, but I'm now standing beside one of the oldest buildings in Ireland. This is the White House. And it was said that it was here that William III, William of Orange, stopped here. His armies would have landed very close to here back in 1690. It's a beautiful building, and again it's owned by Antrim and Newtonabbey Council.